Playoff week continues here at Shenandoah University, live from Winchester, Virginia, with potentially the toughest matchup our Smash Bros. Team has ever seen. They are preparing to take on Fisher Varsity Squad, a team whose school Shenandoah has now met multiple times across various different titles, but this Smash Bros. Roster comprised of multiple professionals, multiple top 10 players, and even more in at least the top 100. SU with their hands full tonight, but looking to make a statement. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Clayton, joined alongside Ben Kincaid, as we've got an interesting one on our hands, as Shenandoah is, for the first time really this whole season, measurable underdogs.
Yeah, underdogs is definitely a word for it, right? I mean, this is going to be an unbelievably hard match here up against Fisher Varsity. If you don't know anything about the Fisher Varsity team, if you know anything about Smash Bros, the top 100 players, a few of them go to this school. One of them being Zomba, right? Zomba is a big face in Super Smash Bros, but we'll get more into kind of the team here in a moment. Let's take a quick look at the graphics, the groups that we have here tonight, what we faced in our regular season. We went up against Northwood, a couple Fisher colleges there, Navy and West, UCF, Houston, a very tough group, but Shenandoah performing very, very well, going 5-2, top 2 in the group with that tiebreaker head-to-head win over UCF.
Yes, this is NECC Division I playoffs that we are in now, so top 4 teams from each of these two groups as we look toward the other group qualified for the postseason, and Shenandoah just on Tuesday taking a win over that number 3 team there in Group B, University of Michigan, dropping to the lower bracket at the hands of Shenandoah. So SU continues to barrel through the season with only losses to one of the Fisher teams in their actual regular season group, as well as a loss to Northwood, going undefeated in the regular season. But tonight, facing Fisher College's varsity team, who went 6-1 only with a loss to that Winthrop Academy team, which is very surprising.
Yeah, I mean, Winthrop Academy playing very, very well, of course, a very notable team in the scene, specifically their varsity roster being very, very good with professional players on that lineup. Let's take a quick look at what the bracket looks like here tonight and what this playoff has looked like thus far. We can see SU there towards the bottom, that 2-1 victory just a few nights ago up against the University of Michigan and Fisher Varsity with a clean 2-0 there up against the University of Houston. So now we move on to round 2. Northwood and Winthrop Academy, of course, 2-0ing their opponents in round 1. So the winner of this matchup will face the winner of that upper matchup that you see there. And then the losers of those two will go down to the lower bracket and face either the winner of Houston versus Michigan or Fisher Gray versus UCF. So we'll have to wait and see what those matchups look like. I believe are getting played this week as well. So we'll know the whole lineup, hopefully, either by the end of the day or sometime next week for what SU's opponent will be. But still, a lot of great competition in this bracket.
Yeah, the deeper we get into the season, you know you're never going to get an easy draw, but boy, are these teams made up of some heavy hitters. As we take a look at the head-to-head for tonight, again, it cannot be understated how strong this Fisher roster is. They've, again, only dropped one series at the hands of Winthrop Academy, and outside of those 2 games, only lost one more game all season long. So this team very much barreling through their season, and Shenandoah overperforming, I think, their own seed as well, with some strong wins in their group, earning their right into playoffs, but maintaining that momentum again with a huge win just 2 nights ago, and making their way to round 2 on the winner's side is a huge deal. So numbers favoring Fisher because this squad is borderline untouchable.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned one player up there at the beginning, Zomba, Rob, a very, very powerful player, Tilda on the Falco, Riku on the PT, and Velta on Mega Man. A very stacked lineup here tonight for Fisher, going up the tried and true SU roster. Let's take a quick peek at what those players look like.
Yeah, no surprises here, but I would argue the bigger surprise is that compared to the roster you just saw, you're thinking, these guys aren't top 10 in the entire world. Well, yeah, that's the reality of the situation, but that's what Shenandoah Smash has really built their brand around. This is a scrappy team of good players that all take important stocks in their own ways, right? It's not dependent on one superstar, although this team now, in especially recent memory, has come to depend a lot on the success of Willie taking massive stock runs to continue this season. But again, this is a very balanced team and not one that is very common in collegiate crew battles. So while we don't quite match up in the sheer talent and ranking and statistical results, this team has, again, earned the right to be here, and that's no fluke.
Yeah, that is the score line from that Michigan set that we had just earlier this week from Willie. 16 stocks taken, 7 stocks lost, a 2.3 ratio in those 3 games played. Last stock, last hit in every single scenario and game up against Michigan, as we blow up some of those stat lines for you all to see. But we saw 2 different characters come through from Willie. The ones that we are used to, of course, Kazuya coming through in that first set, but then the Terry, the swap in those last 2 sets really made the difference, able to take 7 stocks in set number 2, and I believe it was 4 or 5 stocks at the end of set number 3 as well. I believe 4 stocks was the count that we had there. So, yeah, I mean, unbelievable run from this player and able to show up on their secondary character as well, which is always a wonderful thing to see.
Yeah, the depth of this roster comes in a different form than the depth we expect to see from Fisher, right? Fisher with multiple players of all elite caliber, right? That we showed those 4 people that we're somewhat expecting to see as starters. There's 3 other players on this Fisher roster, and 2 of which are ranked in the top 50 in the world. Now, that is not true for every player on their starting lineup, so we'll see what needs to happen for SU to maybe walk out with a win, but that's the reality of the situation. This team is very talented and very deep, so even if things get shaky for Fisher, we expect that, phone up a quick top 5 player in the world and maybe get bailed out of a sticky situation. We'll see. A lot yet to be seen, although we did get our first reveal of our opening matchup, and it looks like it will be Igloo starting once again for 3 nights in a row now into what looks to be Velta on the Mega Man.
Yeah, the Mega Man looks like to be the blind pick to start for Fisher University. You mentioned that there's 3 other players that were not listed in that graphic, those players being Mr. E, Jackal, and Sonics, the Sonic player, so another very prominent player in the scene, the Sonic Wolf, the Lucina and Aegis for Mr. E as well. So definitely a lot of options for Fisher to work with. I'm interested to see what the switch up here for SU is for Igloo to go in first. Often we see Eyes or Kip, mainly Kip, fall into that starting position, but maybe they're just trying to find a matchup that works for this Yoshi and save Kip's Pac-Man later on to see if they can really spice something up.
Yeah, I'm sure SU is going to be somewhat throwing a lot at the wall today and just seeing what sticks. It's going to be hard to take many stocks off of any of these players, but I'm sure they see matchups they like, right? This team has experience into Mega Man. They've played Peanut over at Winthrop a couple times. Did not go great. I'll be the first to admit. He's obviously one of, if not the best Mega Man in the world. But Velta, certainly competitive as well. So we'll see, the Velta, one of the few players who is not top 100 in the world. And that's something. So,
right?
yeah,
Surely.
it's, these are the opportunities that SU is going to get to maybe sort of put a crack in the armor of this Fisher squad. But one stock at a time, we'll get through it as we get through it. And Igloo going to be the first one to try and kick it off and maybe get SU off to a strong start here.
Yeah, Igloo the one to take the hot seat first and get their first what for to Fisher Varsity here up against Velta on the Mega Man. So we'll see how this matchup goes for these players. I know earlier in the year they went up against a player called MPH. MPG?
We played against two players.
Yeah,
one was MPG, one was MPH, and I don't remember.
I think it was MPG.
I believe so.
Was the Mega Man. And that was a problem, right? That Mega Man was absolutely absurd. Super aggressive play style from that Mega Man. Something that we have not seen in the likes of Peebnut, who's a little bit more passive. And when it comes to footstool, that will be one stock down. Velta already able to claim one.
Certainly not how Igloo would have liked to start this one, or Avery, as we have him listed on the overlay up there. But down one stock to start off of a footstool. I mean, that's just kind of mentally a little crushing, but we'll see if he's able to shake it off, getting a good amount of percentage back the other direction and keeping this close. So good news for SU as they keep this competitive, but none of it will matter unless we can take this stock relatively quick. Plenty of smash still to be seen. Igloo now starting to lose a bit of that progress, catching a forward smash there, and now a side B forced to retreat, and another side B that he'll have to maybe try to take advantage of, and at least trades that percent to keep this thing as even as he can.
Yeah, still a lot of extra credit coming off of this first stock from Velta. The down B coming through as well to try to possibly find a shield break, just a fast landing to try to set up a kill opportunity with a forward air or an up air, whatever it may be. But Velta playing super safe and super calculated into Igloo's Yoshi right now. I mean, we saw an up air getting ripped, the back air connecting, and that will be able to secure that first stock off of Velta, but not before they take another 112% from that third stock, or that first stock rather.
Yeah, Velta getting a lot of value from these side Bs. I have to say that's something that I'm not used to seeing the Mega Man players that we've seen in recent memory on this stream be able to achieve so consistently. But Velta really getting his money worth from that move and applying a lot of pressure from across the stage. You said it, Velta playing pretty passively, pretty distantly compared to the MPG that we played earlier this season, who was, borderline kamikaze style Mega Man, just run you down and overwhelm you. This very different play style, and so far, Igloo really staying in it compared to other Mega Mans we've seen.
Yeah, able to bring up 78% here, holding on to the second stock thus far, playing it pretty passively themselves as well, but still will fall to that back air yet again from that Mega Man, doing so much damage and having quite the large hitbox as well. Hard to avoid that one. We'll have to see if Igloo can keep this pace up. Another back air landing and egg. This could be an opportunity for Igloo to find a kill, but cannot quite find that nair. The egg lands, but won't convert that into anything else. Trying to call out the roll there as well with the up smash, but Velta not falling for it.
Yeah, Igloo doing a good job working his way back in as well, going for the back air to try and take the stock at the ledge, but Mega Man able to get underneath Igloo there and start to look for more up airs. Only lands one with the side B sort of interrupting that combo. But Igloo, again, eating quite a bit of damage here. Now in a bit of trouble with the Leaf Shield. Forward smash goes wide, but forces Igloo's jump. So Igloo recovers to the opposite side of the stage, and we return to this projectile game. Igloo forced to make his way back in, catches the gear, but forced to drop it from the impact. Now up over 100% and threatening to lose this last stock, potentially right here.
Oh, that will do it. That stock out of the way. I didn't think that one was going to carry them off of the top blast zone there of Smashville, but there it is. Velta able to take 3 stocks with only losing their one. Now SU have to respond with their second player. Expect that one to be either Kip or Eyes to go in on this Mega Man to try to figure out and find those last 2 stocks. But thus far, Fisher Varsity playing very, very well.
Yeah, can't complain about that start if you're Fisher, only losing 1, and I thought Igloo did not look terrible. Working his way into close range and finding moves like his back air, threatening stocks quite a few times, but that last stock just sort of getting away from him at the end, getting hit by a lot of hitboxes, and ultimately losing it to the 2 up airs at the end. Mega Man up air is a very strange move. It really does just push you toward the blast zone, and sometimes I kind of don't know exactly how to get out of it, how to, work your way around it, if you even really can. But that time around, Igloo not able to do so and loses his last stock. Velta gets to keep on to his second with over 100% as well. So bad news for Shenandoah to start this, as we now see that it looks like the response for Shenandoah will be Kip on his Pac-Man. So I'm curious what the rest of the order now is, with Eyes still sitting in reserve.
Yeah, Eyes sitting in reserve again. Kip will be the response. I think the way to get out of that tornado was like an SDI instead of just holding in a direction. Maybe. That's my only guess. I have not played against a lot of Mega Men because that's not a very Mega Man.
I don't really know.
I don't know how you would plural. I don't know. Hey, who knows? Mega Man, not someone that is very common in the Smash Bros. Scene. So yeah, definitely able to show up here already with Velta, but Kip now the answer from SU to try to go in and take care of these two stocks. Might have a better time just with the Hydrant, being able to buy a lot of space into Mega Man that kind of plays with a lot more range, able to block a lot of the projectiles that Mega Man is going to be throwing out all the time. So possibly a beneficial kind of aspect of Kip's gameplay, but we'll have to see if that comes true, because Velta is a very, very good character, or good player.
Yeah, still a long way to go here, but Kip with an opportunity to try to bring this back a little bit without too much trouble, as we are still going through stage picks. Looks like we'll be going to Kalos, which is a little interesting to me. It's not often that we see Kip take anybody to Kalos. So just curious what the mentality is here, and if we'll see something in game that maybe reveals a bit of that strategy to us. But looks like we are getting ready to go back in with Kip's Pac-Man. Again, not a player that we're used to seeing go in at number 2. So I'm interested in what the vision is here. Again, I'm not surprised to see Shenandoah just sort of trying stuff. Hoping that maybe you find a hole in the defense. But for now, the situation is the situation. One stock at a time, and it's the one right in front of you. And for now, for Kip, that is 2 Mega Man stocks on Velta.
Yeah, 2 Mega Man stocks is all that is left on this Mega Man, but still a lot of stocks that you can sort of work with, right? Especially when a character like this is in the right hands. Oh, I didn't know that blade would go through the Hydrant there, so we'll be able to kind of get around that Hydrant and stop these farms. The Leaf Shield, again, doing so much damage right into the back air, able to connect one of those. Going for the second, just try to secure that kill, but can't quite find it. Able to break that Hydrant relatively quickly as well. The bomb is there. We'll be tossed back off towards that Mega Man, but still not racking up a whole lot of percentage. Is Kip only 33% onto this Mega Man to the 82% and counting. Potential backer will go for the forward smash instead, but still Kip in danger already.
Yeah, that is a factor with the Mega Man side B, is that I believe if you hit Mega Man back, and I'm not sure if it needs to be a short-range move or if you can hit him with a projectile, but you can put the bomb back on Mega Man. So we saw Kip able to do that once. We saw Igloo try to do it a couple times, and I believe was unsuccessful. I don't think we ever got to see that work, but something to keep an eye out for, again, as we've seen that Velta's very consistent at planting these bombs, but we'll see if SU is able to sort of return the favor at any point, as Kip able to drop and get that key off midair and goes for another one but can't find it, and now does catch a forward smash to the face. And again, I'm seeing Velta go up and get that side B off on the Halo platform, which really surprises me that you're even able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the aerial aggression that Velta is able to play with. The forward air and the back air doing so well. The bell connecting. That will be that second stock off of Velta. Kip possibly looking to put away this last stock, but we'll have to see, as Velta's oppression in the air has been noted by these players, unable to get really close and find a lot of combinations up against Velta thus far. Maybe a few stray hits here and there, but nothing of length coming through from either of these players.
Yeah, now just a little bit of skirmishing as the game has slowed down. I think you're getting the vibe from Velta that he really wants to hold on to this last stock that he's got. Stock count now being 10-8 for the record, but you know, an important 2 stocks still separating these 2 teams. If Velta is able to hold on to this one and sort of slow the game down, we've seen that Velta is very comfortable playing at a distance, and especially into this Pac-Man where, yeah, you're seeing the value of that gear going right through the hydrant. All of a sudden, all this protection that Kip is used to having basically isn't there.
Yeah, still doing a great job at getting up a lot of percentage here on Velta's final stock, 103 of that percentage already built up. Bell in hand now for Kip. Will be able to land. It goes for the side B, but cannot find that connection. That could have potentially found that kill there as well. But now Velta threatening this second stock off of Kip. The blade getting tossed out left and right by Velta, trying to find an opening to find this kill move onto Kip. The Bell connecting instead into the forward smash. That'll be Velta off the board with Kip surviving with 2.
Yeah, so Kip only losing 1 is pretty good news for Shenandoah to keep this thing pretty close. Much more manageable than it certainly could have been when you're dealing with this caliber of players. So Kip getting the job done. You see the emotions of the team coming out there. It's everybody here having a good time. You know, Shenandoah, no stranger to swinging above their weight class, especially in recent weeks here. But making the most of the moment and keeping it within 1 stock now with a score of 9-8.
Yeah, 9-8 within 1 stock. SCU still keeping it close thus far up against Velta, but now if you're Fisher, who do you put up, who do you give the call to, right? Where is the call to the bullpen going to go to? I mean, it could be Zomba, Tilda still a factor. Sonics is in that sub position, but still is available at any given moment. All of these players can show up and easily do a whole lot of damage. So we'll have to see what the option and the character selection is going to be here from Fisher, but all of the players that are still in reserve after Velta are certainly no easy task.
Yeah, the biggest question for me is there's kind of this, I'll say it, lame aspect to collegiate crew battles, is that a lot of teams bring on these like professional players and then don't really use them until like grand finals and stuff, or you know, whenever they need them. Fisher though has a lot of very talented players, and I know that, you know, we will see some of them if SU can get there. But the reason I bring this up is because the question on my mind is which of these players is actually available and which ones are not. You know, we have Sonics listed as a sub. He's ranked 1 spot under Zomba. You know,
yeah,
incredible player, obviously. But like, will we see him? Is he even available? I don't really know. That's the reality of playing these teams that have these professionals. But we do get our reveal, and it looks like it's a Rob on our screen, which I have to believe means Zomba himself, number 6 in the world, will be on our screen.
Yeah, the Switch's name is Pando, so I don't know if it is Zomba or not. Maybe it's just a different name. So we'll have to see. Yeah, it is Zomba up. You can see the graphic there. So number 6 in the world, making an appearance here for Fisher up against Kip's Pac-Man. Up 1 stock. We'll have to see how Kip is able to fare into this very, very talented player.
Yeah, I mean, storied, very successful Smash Bros. Player for his entire career, going all the way back to Smash 4. Zomba has been around the block for a very long time and been one of the best in the game for that amount of time, really. But Kip gonna have to just, you know, play the game as he would, right? You can't overthink yourself into a bad situation here. And so far, I have to say, Kip doing exactly that, keeping the percentage tied pretty much exactly. Now finding a nair onto this Rob, but Zomba doing a great job of avoiding trouble until there. Make it Kip taking first blood here and tying the stock count at 8.
Yeah, Kip able to take 1 stock off of Zomba already. more than you can really ask for against a player like this, right? Kip playing very patiently, very poised in their decision making, will lose that second stock, but still able to take one off of Zomba is no easy feat. Let's see if they are able to take yet another one. Zomba, however, able to get a good ledge guard. The hydrant coming down as well. Zomba now opting to recover high. Rob with one of the better recoveries here in this game, can really opt how they want to use it. They can go low, they can go high, and really do whatever they want. But 83% built up already. Kip could do some damage, catching that gyro as well, stopping a potential combo, but that will do it. Kip goes down, but takes one stock off of number 6.
Well, hey, they bleed. Kip, I'm sure, maybe a little disappointed after how that started, but going into that with 2 stocks, taking one and threatening the second, can't complain about that too much, but where we were just tied in stock counts just a moment ago, we are no longer. Kip, unfortunately, just dropping that shield right at the one frame he couldn't afford to, and eats that back air, barely dies to it. Might have been able to survive, honestly, I'm not sure, but Rob back air, a very, very strong move. Again, with a huge hitbox, and that's kind of Rob's whole brand, is how much space this character occupies for being a relatively fast and quick-hitting character. But back here, finishes the stock off, finishes Pac-Man off, and now SU, you saw on your screen, it will likely opt to put in Eyes here as player number 3.
Yeah, Eyes will be the third player in for SU into Zomba's final 2 stocks. So the Palutena character coming in for response. We'll have to see how this matchup goes. I mean, Zomba, Palutena has some representation in some of these top tier players and these kind of top tier character selection, but it's definitely going to be tough knowing that Eyes has struggled the past couple of weeks in some of their matchups that they have been being thrust into. So we'll see what Eyes is able to do here up against Zomba, but Zomba playing very, very well, losing that first stock, but taking a clean 2 right after.
Yeah, absolutely. Turning more so into the Zomba that I was expecting, I have to say. Again, to set the stage, right, this is a player that let's see. I'm just looking at their results on my laptop here. Just came in second. What is that? 4 days ago in Port Priority, losing 2-3 against Sonics, his own Fisher teammate here, and notably coming in first at Collision back in August. So again, Zomba, very decorated player, very successful player that now SU just trying to get through, but Fisher just looking to take care of business, right, putting this player in now. I'm unfamiliar if Zomba usually comes in this early or not, but regardless, Fisher looking to make a statement and kind of get out of this without much trouble.
Yeah, the mash good coming through from Eyes, able to survive that down throw, but still 111%. The ledge guard coming through the side air will be the one. I believe that's the forward air from Rob there, but to secure that first stock already. You can see the oppression that Rob is able to play with when the gyro is in play, right? The gyro does so much work with setting up really complex combination strings, and when it happens and it shows up and is performed to perfection, it's really hard to get out of them.
Yeah, now Eyes in a bit of trouble. Gets his uppie interrupted there, but able to make it back. But now struggling to avoid these projectiles. And we've seen it, Eyes is a freshman on this team, very new to the roster, very new to competing in these high-stakes moments, and this is a baptism by blood here. This is just about as bad as it's going to get, but a heck of an opportunity for Eyes to compete against the best, as a nice little jab reset and a tech chase into the down smash will confirm that stock for Zomba. Still only taken now 50%, 63 make it on this stock, and this being his first stock of this matchup, Eyes struggling to find much.
Yeah, Eyes trying to get anything on the board here. Has some percentage built up, but has not been able to find any string of note. The grab coming through, just trying to find that final strike. That kill is Zamba, but cannot quite connect, reading a potential, oh wow, forward smash getting ripped from Eyes, is able to connect, but now Zamba with a quick landing, trying to just find these up tilts into a forward air and up air, whatever it may be, combination to find this stock. But Zamba not letting it get too far out of hand, just playing it safe, playing it slow, trying to really decisively secure this last stock.
Yeah, and again, the big thing that we've picked up on from Eyes in these last couple weeks of competition is making him work for it. Like, Eyes is playing this stock well. The movement has been strong, sometimes struggling to find his way in offensively, but Zamba is, I mean, not messing around here, trying to put this stock away and struggling. Does finally get the tech chase again with the down smash, very similar to that last stock as well. But Eyes ultimately comes up short, and now the lead has swelled for Fisher with one player remaining from Shenandoah.
Yeah, one player left on the side of SU, and it will be Willie, of course, the Kazuya and or Terry character selection. We'll have to wait to see which one that is, but still 2 stocks remaining on Zamba's Rob. Will SU be able to find their way through this player and see the third player on Fisher Varsity, or will this be the end of set number 1 here with Zamba able to clean house up against the last 3 players of SU? We'll have to wait and see. But right now, I mean, Zamba seems to, like, nothing flashy necessarily is happening other than really calculated tech chases and just a great overall balanced play coming through from Zamba, right? Just clean Smash Bros through and through from this player, and it's really hard to try to work your way around a player like this.
Yeah, that's Zamba, and that's Rob as well. Rob, you know, not necessarily the flashiest character in the game, but just very well-rounded. Has so many options, especially, as you said, with the top, the gyro.
Yeah.
There you go. Just enabling a lot, especially at the ledge and in other just neutral game scenarios. Zamba showcasing it all right now and taking care of business, only losing that first stock again to Kip, which I have to say in the moment was wild. But Zamba very much has turned it on, and Zamba, unfortunately for SU, no stranger to playing against Kazuya's as well. So, you know, where you get this factor that will not go away of Willie's ability to just sort of nuke some of these stocks, you have to expect that Zamba is not going to be falling for some of the more, you know, gimmicky things that Willie can resort to in times of desperation.
Yeah, already we can see a lot of these nairs coming through from Zamba, just trying to catch some extra damage. Has such a large hitbox with that ability as well. The top, oh my goodness, that might just be a stock.
Yeah.
Yep. That is one already. Zamba showing the power of this character with the gyro, toss, resets, everything coming through. Now, Willie trying to get something going. Some electrics landing here. Won't be able to land that last one. Could have potentially been a kill, but cannot quite find it.
Yeah, but how about it? That was 96% off one interaction. Now, Willie in a bit of trouble again from the side B. Rob does have options off stage here, and again with that recovery, able to fly anywhere on stage and secure that back air with Willie not having a jump anymore. So Willie now on his last stock in the blink of an eye, and the gyro coming out causing problems. Willie struggling to find his way in, but Zamba, the one really causing these problems. Now again, the down tilt resets, force a jab out of this one, and does get it. So we'll end that combo, but Zamba says, I'm not done just yet.
Yeah, I mean, the jab resets coming through on the ground there, so hard to get out of it. Almost dies, but is able to find that reset. The back air is there, and that will be set number 1. Zamba able to run through the remainder of SEU and put Fisher Varsity up 1-0 in this best of 3.
Yeah, he is pretty good. I mean, yeah, there's not a ton to say. This is one of the most talented Smash Bros. Players in the world, going up against this SU squad who tends to rely on a lot of strategic, you know, matchup decisions and, you know, setting themselves up in positions where they can win off of even matchups, but the biggest counter to that is having one of the best players in the world just come in and take care of business, right? It's unfortunate for SU. It can be hard to watch and hard for the players to go through. It's certainly pretty mentally taxing to watch that player just go through 8 stocks uninterrupted. But that's where SU is at. So Fisher, I think the big question now is, do you leave him in and just let him go take care of business? Does SU feel the need to move pieces around if they're expecting Zomba to stay in? I guess we'll wait and see, but right now it does certainly look like if Fisher wanted to, Zomba does not need to leave this arena, and he can just stay in and get at least 8 or 9 without much pushback from SU.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, if Fisher just wants to keep Zomba in, I think it's a very feasible response and a very sound response from what we just saw from this player, right? Able to take these stocks very, very easily, very soundly, and only losing 1 early on into Kip's Pac-Man, getting caught by that Bell forward smash for that first one, but then was able to lock back in and clean house up against SU. So we'll have to see what the change-ups might look like from either of these teams, if Velta comes back in again, or if they do just keep Zomba in, or if someone else makes an appearance. If Tilda on the Falco comes in, Riku, Mr. E is still in the wing, Sonics and Jackal as well. Who knows what the response is going to be, but I would feel that Fisher would still start either Velta or Zomba here, these first 2 players.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll let you know as soon as we know, but I also am curious what SU will opt to do, right? We've seen them sort of switch to this strategy of starting Igloo and combining him with Eyes to sort of invest stocks into whoever the opener is, and then give Kip an opportunity to go on a run and reclaim some momentum later on. And that has worked. It worked 2 nights ago. It sort of served its purpose, but was kind of a hopeless ask last night anyway. Right. But does SU revert away from that? Do they go back to a Kip opener and just see if maybe Kip has a better shot into the Mega Man? Or, we'll have to wait and see, right? There's a lot of options from SU. I'm not sure, what they feel is right, especially given the results we just saw, but they've got a couple different avenues they could go down if they see light down one of them.
Yeah, and I think I could see an avenue where they put Eyes in to start to see if they can clean up or get 1 stock off of Velta and then move into Kip or Igloo to start second here, just to try to get some momentum back in the back end of this SU roster. We'll have to see if that is potentially a look to maybe give Igloo a shot at Zomba if they come in second or first, whatever it may be, with the Yoshi Rob matchup. But yeah, I mean, we're just kind of playing the waiting game now, waiting for character selections to come through. SU, I do not believe, has selected a character on our end, and not sure if Fisher has done the same or if they're taking a break. I'm not sure what's going on with these 2 teams right now, but hopefully we'll be able to hop in shortly with some information and really try to break down some of these matchups.
Yeah, the reality of Fisher as a university, if any of you are familiar, Fisher is a primarily online institution. I don't believe they're completely online, but a primarily online institution, which means a lot of these players you'll see across all of their teams in every title that they compete in, compete remotely. So that also means, some of these delays might be them switching switches, depending on, if a new player is coming in here for Fisher, that means that Zomba has to leave and this new player has to come in, and they also need to communicate that to Shenandoah. So, when you get with these online universities, that can cause delays, specifically in Smash when you have 1 player in at a time, compared to, I know Fisher's great in most games that they compete in, but usually you have your whole team in there all at once. Smash, a bit of a different story. So we do seem to have our intel, at least on who is starting for Shenandoah, and it looks like it will be Eyes back on his Palutena to open up against, it looks like, this Mega Man one more time.
It does look like it might be the Mega Man coming in yet again. So, yeah, a little switch up on the side of SU, just putting Eyes in to see if they can take some of these stocks off of this first player. We'll have to see. It's Rob again coming through. It's a different switch, though, so I'm not sure if someone else is picking up Rob just for fun on the side of Fisher Varsity. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe it's Zamba just on another profile. I'm not entirely sure. But hey, Palutena Rob will be the first. Oh, okay.
Zamba's back.
Yeah, Zamba is back. Pando's switch just joined in. So yeah, Zamba will be starting yet again here for Fisher into Eyes.
Yeah, not a huge surprise to me. But I'm wondering if Fisher maybe has a switch on standby just to do blind picks so that you don't know who's playing based on who joins the lobby. I don't know. We get to see a lot on our back end. We get to watch the switch while we don't necessarily have it live on stream. So we're watching the interactions of these two teams, trying to decipher it for you. But again, the final answer is it looks like it will be Eyes on Palutena taking on Zamba once again back on his Rob. So Fisher making the decision that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Zamba they're taking 9 stocks there total, only losing 1 at the very start. So, or 8 stocks in total, I guess. Kip going into that with only 2. But again, without much pushback along the way, and believing he can maybe go the distance this time, or at least get that much again. And we'll have to see, right, SU? Seeing maybe if they switch up their order, if that might matter. But again, against a player who played against most of the roster and did not lose a stock against most of the roster, order's not going to matter that much.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I feel like they're just putting all their eggs in one basket with Zamba start and just see, hey, can you run the 12 stock gauntlet or not? And well, knowing what Zamba was just able to do up against 8 of our stocks, it does seem likely that Zamba might be able to do it again, only losing that 1 stock very, very early on, and only getting up to, I think, around like 80 to 100 in some of their other matches on that second stock as well. So Zamba certainly in full control, and it looks like Fisher Varsity are aware of that and are just going to send Zamba in again to see if they can just complete the 12 stock and end with a clean 2-0.
Yeah, sending SU to losers is Fisher's goal, but Shenandoah again gets the breathing room of a win on Tuesday, meaning that their season will not end if this second set does not go any better than the first one. So we'll get there when we get there, but now set 2 fully underway with Zamba taking on Eyes to start. 2 new starters for both of these squads, but no major surprises from Fisher with such a talented player on their roster.
Yeah, already almost 1 stock off the board, 100% built up without even a touch onto Zamba. Perry coming through there as well. The neutral B will be able to find 1 bit of percentage, but still super able to get back to that ledge is Eyes, but still struggling to get anything going, and that'll be the first stock gone on this Palutena.
Yeah, Eyes really only finding a neutral B in there to find 18%, and in the blink of an eye, Zamba has already built that much on this second stock. So well underway here. The momentum starting to build with 1 stock out of the way, and Eyes' shield getting a little low. Again, the laser precision has been very impressive, but something you kind of come to expect when you watch the best Rob player in the world perform on his character, right? It's an art that this player now gets to display here in collegiate competition.
Yeah, good tech coming through there from Eyes as well off of that wall. Some nairs coming through from this Palutena as well. Able to catch yet another one. Goes up with the up air, but cannot quite connect. Landing with that up air as well, but will get spiked down promptly after they get tossed off of the ledge. Zamba now poised to take a clean 3 stocks up against Eyes' Palutena. 84% still builds up, but Palutena sometimes can struggle to find some of these kills. So we'll have to see if they are able to find it here or not.
Yeah, again, Rob with these huge hitboxes. That down air spike does go through the ledge. So now to get to grab a great mash there from Eyes to avoid a kill there. And hold on to this last stock, give himself an opportunity, but recovers wide of the ledge. Again, that down air was coming, and I saw it, tried to avoid it, but missed the ledge entirely. So Zamba with 3 stocks to get this thing started.
Yeah, 3 stocks already gone on the side of SU. Zamba surviving with 3 of their own. We'll have to see who sits down here in this chair for SU. Either Igloo or Kip would be my guess. Possibly Kip able to take off that first stock in that first set up against Zamba, so that could be the response that we look for, as it looks like the team is talking it over. It looks like Igloo is going to be the one to sit down, to not play Zamba in that first set, maybe trying to give their own crack at it here as well.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You know, everybody's gonna have to do it eventually. So Igloo, the only one on the roster who did not match up into Zamba in the first set, is gonna take his own crack at it. And I don't know. We'll see if it goes better. He was able to take one stock off of Velta on the Mega Man. So that's something. That's stocks that were not easy for Shenandoah to take in that set, and Igloo got on the board. So see if he's able to recreate that against a Rob instead of a Mega Man. Two very different characters. So hard to say that translates, but again, why not? When SU's full strategy is kind of based around moving players around to find different matchups that they like, none of it matters if you're playing against a player as talented as this that can kind of rip through your stocks. Your order is not going to affect that outcome.
Yeah, I mean, you can try to move puzzle pieces around as much as you want, but when you're going up against a player as profound as Zamba on this Rob, it's hard. You're not going to catch him off guard, right? You're not going to be like, oh, I'm gonna switch my character.
He won't be ready for this one,
right? Surely you've never played into a Yoshi before. That's not the case, right? I mean, Zamba is just one of those players that can run the gauntlet time and time again, and right now has been able to do so with those first three clean stocks. We'll have to see what Igloo is now able to do up against this Rob, if they have any better luck than Eyes did on that Palutena. But we'll just have to wait and see, as it looks like we are getting close to hopping into this game.
Yeah, waiting for Zamba to now re-enter the arena to get this thing underway. But I am curious. Again, I mentioned earlier that Shenandoah, if they are to lose here tonight, which Smash left to be played, but it certainly seems to be heading that direction. Their season is not over, and again, whoever loses here tonight their season is not over. The bracket is double elimination here in NECC. This is not NACE. So while we wait for the game, actually, let's take a look at this bracket real quick because we have it ready. And I want to take a moment to point out that the loser of this series will await the result of Fisher Gray and UCF. So, good news for SU if they are to find themselves down there, because UCF was in their regular season bracket and Shenandoah beat them. And I forget which non-varsity Fisher roster Shenandoah beat, if it was Gray or not. But either way, the point is, yes, Shenandoah's season not over. Oh, and I'm receiving
Western Navy, I think, are the ones that
okay, so I'm receiving
mistaken.
yes, we are learning that Fisher Gray was in the other group, so I'm getting mixed up with all of these Fisher rosters. But yeah, plenty of Smash left in this bracket, as the loser of this will only fall to losers, not have their season end.
Yeah, Western Navy, I believe, are the teams that we went up against from Fisher as we hop into this game here. So, hey, let's see what Igloo can do. Already gets that first hit off the board, but now we can a couple clanks going through there with the down tilt and the jab attack coming through from Igloo on this Yoshi, but now getting grabbed, getting raised up towards that platform. It's just so hard to avoid these massive hitboxes that Rob is able to play with.
Yeah, now falling with the nairs again, very safe, going for a back air there, but it will go wide, and now Zamba does find Igloo off stage. Igloo with no jump, does have the jump, excuse me. Able to get back to the ledge without much trouble, lots of eggs with protection, but that up air does take stocks. So it'll be another one in Zamba's pocket, only 35% along the way, and with that pace, threatening to get through another 3 stocks without much trouble.
Yeah, already you can see how much aerial presence that Rob is able to have, right? This Nair covers up so much ground and hits like a truck. I mean, able to put up big numbers very, very quickly. The up air as well with that massive hitbox, able to kill off the top again. 2 stocks already gone for Igloo, now down to their last.
Yep, one more stock to work with, and did not get very much percentage in that last one, so back off stage and in some trouble here, and the Nair connects and another up tilt. Good little mix up there, finds the grab on the landing, and Igloo eating a lot of percent here. Does get a good reversal, threatens that stock, but Zamba not quite going down yet, and that feels like it might have been the best opportunity Igloo was going to find.
Yeah, looked close, a chase with that down tilt, unable to connect up air, up smash, or forward.
Rob is heavy too.
Cannot find it. Will be able to find one though. The air dodge up to the ledge as well. Can grab. Now going far side, but all right. Yes,
he got his one.
Got their one. And an unfortunate SD coming through from Igloo, but. Hey, all right, sure.
Okay, I jokes aside, don't think that was the plan. I do think he was trying to stall and get across the stage and recover to the other side to avoid the Rob ledge trap, but couldn't get it. And so ends up looking pretty funny, but I don't think the intent was to SD there after getting his one, but unfortunately that's the result. So next man up for SU. You see it on your screen. It will be Kip once again on the Pac-Man. Again, the only player in set 1 who was able to take a stock off Zamba, and it was from a bell into a forward smash at about 100%. So, again, windows open. Windows cracked. As
we've seen the window.
Yeah,
it's in view.
It's in our sights, and the window was open at a time, which means we have reason to believe it will be open again. No, Kip with an opportunity again. 3 more stocks on the board for this SU player. Gonna throw him at the wall, throw him at the 6th best player in the world and see what happens. But Zamba, again, just on pace to continue this momentum and continue rolling without much trouble.
You'll have to see what this matchup looks like here with an even stock count. Instead, I believe Kip was down that.
Yes,
yeah,
Kip
was
entered
down
that
one
with
stock.
2 stocks.
2 stocks to 3. So now with an even stock count, we'll see if Kip might be able to take 2 this time. But right now, playing very, very well is Zamba again getting that jab reset off of the ground. Not much Kip can do. The Nair again landing, and that one will do it. Back air connecting, and that'll be 1 stock down with only 27% built up onto Rob.
Again, it's just surgical. It's all so well executed so consistently, and that's what, I mean, it's what makes the greats great. Zamba putting on a show right now, and ledge trapping Kip to perfection. A character that does not get ledge trapped very easily, especially with the options like the side B, like the trampoline, and the rise on the trampoline having a hitbox. Zamba goes down and takes the trampoline, so Kip can't make it back again. Instance after instance of Zamba just executing to borderline perfection.
Yeah, I mean, this player has been playing out of their mind here tonight up against SU again. Not going for the chase that time. We'll just go for that Nair, but unable to connect because, well, Kip playing it safe and not opting to go up to jump onto that platform. Now an opportunity to take a stock here has Kip trying to farm up for the Fruit the Bell as needed, but will finally be able to get it. Tosses it out there, but the laser coming through, preventing Kip from going back to picking that one up for a second use.
Yep, so on this last stock, approaching 100%, almost threatening Zamba's stock here again. This was Bell into forward smash territory just a set ago, but you have to think that a player this great will not be hit by the same, will not make the same mistake twice, and will take the opportunity to learn from it. Kip gonna put the Bell out and get the regrab. Will not get it that second time, but again, finding his way in. Close to losing this stock. Does hold on to that one. I had a feeling that that wouldn't be enough. Back air connects, and now Kip certainly would not survive another one. Laser connects as well, and the gyro goes out, and it will do it. Kip just barely not able to get that stock, and it's another 126% wiped off the board that Zamba gets to carry into Shenandoah's last.
Yeah, Zamba 3 stocks still remaining in their first player for Fisher. Willie now the last one left here on SU. You can see the player cam Kip just scratched his head a little bit, being like, yeah. His face, he went, all right, have at it, man. Have a blast. Willie sitting down, seeing if they can get anything done here up against this player. But, I mean, it's hard. Zamba's just, he's number 6 in the world. Like, we'd expect this from a player of this caliber.
Yeah, and again, like there's not much to say, right? It's if we had the answers, we'd be number 5 in the world. Like it's surgical. It's very, very impressive to watch somebody this good at anything perform their craft. As now Willie will be the last man standing for Shenandoah, separating them from a loser's bracket run. And we have a bit of a mix-up here for Willie as he'll give his Terry a go and see if it performs any better. And again, I can't say I hate this decision, given that we saw the Kazuya go into Zamba just 20 minutes ago and really not find anything, as Zamba looked extremely comfortable into the Kazuya outside of that 100% interaction that Willie was able to get in the middle.
Already Willie able to approach a little bit easier here on this Terry, but still you can see Zamba not letting up any of the pressure that they had in that first set up against Willie. The up tilts coming through as well.
And no jump.
With no jump available, that will be 1 stock off the board here for Willie, but able to build up 52% onto Zamba's stock. And this might potentially be another one. Yep, that will be the 2nd stock going on Willie. Now SU down to their final stock.
It's hard, right? It's hard to see these players just get made into nothing, right? It looks so simple when you see Zamba do these things, but it really is not, and it's certainly not easy to play against it either, as Willie has an opportunity here, but the SDI to get out of the power dunk means that he gets to hold on to this stock again, or that Zamba gets to hold on to this stock, not able to fall out of that one though. So 144%, and Willie's starting to threaten this stock on this Rob.
Goes for that up air as well. The rising tackle will be able to find that stock. So now Zamba down to their final stock here. We'll have to see what Willie can do, but already built up to 94%. Feels really, really tough, especially, I thought they might have gone for that up air, but instead it's going to be the jab chase. The down smash is there, and will be able to find that kill. Fisher Varsity with a clean 2-0 off the back of Zamba.
Yep, there it is. This player showcasing why he is one of the best in the world and going 12 stocks through this Shenandoah roster. Pretty uninhibited. Willie and Kip both able to walk away with one of their own, but not enough to get Rob off screen, and unfortunately that will do it for Shenandoah's upper bracket run. Now again, I mentioned that NECC is a double elimination playoff bracket, so there will be more Smash left for this team after losing last night in NACE's single elimination bracket. Season's not over, and they will look to play whoever their next opponent is as we await results of later matches.
Yeah, I mean, SU did everything that they possibly could up against this very powerful Fisher team, right? Velta played very, very well on the Mega Man in set 1. Zamba comes in and runs 8 stocks straight, only losing 1 up against Kip. And then we go to set 2, we mix things up, Eyes gets their shot, and Fisher starts Zamba. And it's the same story. Zamba able to run through 12 stocks very, very cleanly, very convincingly, and as you would expect from number 6 in the world. So congratulations to Fisher on advancing in this upper bracket, and SU now have a lot of work to do on their hands here in the lower bracket.
Yep, lower bracket run is on the menu for these Hornets, but they... again, get an opportunity to continue to prove themselves. I think they have very much overperformed their own expectations, so they get to continue their season. It's not over just yet, but our night is over here for tonight, I guess, arguably, because we do have something pretty fun cooking up for this weekend. We will be live out in our arena for the entire weekend, starting tonight for 72 hours straight, playing the brand new Call of Duty Black Black Ops 7 game and raising money for charity. So you won't want to miss that, or at least you won't want to miss too much of it. We don't expect all of you to watch all 72 hours, but be sure to drop us a follow on whatever platform you're watching right now so that you can hang with us for the weekend and have a ton of fun with us, because we've got a lot planned. So be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life, and we will see you next time.